Okay guys, we're gonna start off by using our banana peel right along the edge of our ice cube tray, just like this. Perfect. We're gonna go ahead and get into all of the crevices. Perfect. Alrighty. So now that we have that done, we're gonna go ahead and grab our dough. Now, if you're wondering why we did that with the banana peel, it's to allow it not to stick. So we don't want our dough to stick, and the banana has natural oils. So now that we have our dough on here, we're gonna start to press down with our fingers very gently, because we do not want to rip the dough, right? Go ahead, you can kind of make sure you're using all of the dough and giving it some give. There we go. Perfect. So now that we have all of these created, we're gonna get some shredded mozzarella cheese. You don't need a ton, you just need enough to fill all of these little gaps, okay? Okay, perfect. So these are all filled up now. And we're gonna go ahead and grab our second ingredient. Our second ingredient is pepperoni, okay? So what I like to do is grab a nice mound of pepperoni, and we're gonna go ahead and cut it. I'm using a pizza cutter right here. You can use a knife, scissors, whatever works best. And go ahead, perfect. We're gonna cut into tiny little pieces so it fits into our pizza roll, okay? Perfect. Now get your pepperoni, and we're gonna start filling each of these up, just like that. Perfect. All right, now that we have that, we're gonna go ahead and grab our seasonings. We're gonna start with red chili flakes. And what I always like to do is I make sure to grab a spoon, and I like to drizzle the seasoning on top. It gives me a little bit more control of how much seasoning I'm putting, or else, you know, it might come out of this big seasoning thing like crazy. Perfect. So we have our red chili flakes for some spice. Next, we're gonna get our basil, and we're gonna go ahead and throw some basil on top of all this. Now, I always like to do a lot of basil. I love basil within these, so I highly recommend doing the same. Perfect. Throw the rest back into our bottle. And our last seasoning is oregano. Oregano is so good in so many Italian dishes, so make sure you use it. You're not gonna be sad if you use it. You're gonna wanna use it, guys, okay? There we go. Perfect. Now, our last ingredient, we have our marinara sauce. So I have Rao's marinara. This is my favorite one ever. I highly suggest using this one. It's just so darn tasty. But if you have a different one at home, that's totally okay. Let me know if you try something different. I'm always down to try something new. Perfect. So these look complete. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our dough. We're gonna grab the rest of our dough, and we're gonna go ahead and put it right on top. Just like this. Perfect. And I always like to kind of press along the sides, just like that. And we're gonna go ahead and grab some scissors, and we're gonna cut off all of this excess dough. There's no need for it, guys. We really do not need it. So go ahead, just take it right off. Perfect. And you guys can either save this dough to make future pizza rolls, or you could just toss it. It's completely up to you. There's no shame either way. Alrighty. And the reason why we cut this off is because it's just not needed. It's just extra dough, extra calories that are flavorless. What's important is the stuff inside. Now, we're gonna grab a fork, and we're gonna start pinching the sides, just like this. Perfect. And what this does is this allows all the ingredients to stay inside, stay delicious, and not pop out, okay? So, you know, when you make pizza rolls, all the ingredients start popping out, and this just helps avoid that. Now, a few might still pop out, that's normal, but this will help everything stay inside for the most part. So make sure you do this. Perfect. Alrighty. And as a final step, I always like to find the inside lines, and we're gonna start pressing down on it, okay, with our fork, or you can do your fingers. This helps that dough come together, and when you bake it, it'll hopefully stick together. I've noticed this helps me a lot of times, so I highly recommend that you give it a shot. And just go ahead and look for all of the lines. You can kind of feel around with your fork or your finger and find them. I've been doing this a lot, so I know exactly where these are, right? There we go. Perfect. As you can see, we're getting the shape of all of our pizza rolls. Perfect. Now we're gonna toss this into the freezer for at least 1 hour, but I do recommend multiple hours or even overnight. All right, guys, we have these nice and ready. They're nice and frozen. As you can see, we're gonna go ahead and turn them right over, and we're gonna start taking them out. So you're gonna wanna start from one end. You're gonna press down into the ice tray just like that to release it. And you're just gonna keep on going, and you'll notice that they'll start coming out just like that. Perfect. Check these out, guys. Nice and full. Now, what we're gonna do is grab a pizza cutter, and we're gonna go ahead and cut it right down the middle. Perfect. And now we're gonna go ahead and cut it down the sides, okay? Perfect, there we go. Amazing. And we're gonna keep on going. Perfect. Alrighty, guys, there we go. We have all our pizza rolls ready. We're gonna get our baking sheet now and transfer them over. Okay, guys, we have our baking sheet here with our foil. We're now gonna get our spray. We're gonna make sure to spray it. That way nothing will stick. So we're gonna grab our pizza rolls just like this and start transferring them over. Perfect. So as you can see, I'm leaving some space in the middle just to give them some room. Alrighty, there we go. Put them all in here, guys. And boom, they all fit. And we're gonna toss these into the oven now for 35 minutes at 350 degrees. These are all ready to go, guys. Look at how crispy and golden they look. We're gonna go ahead and plate these. Okay, guys, these are all ready to go. So now what I like to do, I get a garlic butter that I make, and I like to drizzle it right on top, just like this. This is a mixture of garlic, melted butter, some oregano, and it's just so delicious. It adds to the flavor. Now that we have that, we're gonna grab some parsley, open this up, and put it right on top as well. Perfect. Put some right into our marinara. And last but not least, we're gonna grab our Parmesan cheese, and we're gonna go ahead and sprinkle some right on top. Perfect. And of course, a little bit in the marinara. And that is it, guys. These are so good. They're the best pizza rolls you will ever have. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you what the inside looks like. Look at that. Delicious, very full of ingredients. I hope you guys enjoy.